Pecron's new EP3800 expansion battery is currently on pre-order for $699. And with that expansion battery, you could take the Pecron F3000 and expand it to 10 kilowatt hours. That's pretty good. And the Pecron F3000 has 1600 watts of solar that it can take to charge those up. However, that 1600 watts of solar would take over 6¼ hours in perfectly good sun, everything working right in the world to charge that system all the way back up from zero state of charge. Well, you're just not going to get over 6 hours of charge time. I don't care where you are. But the reality is 4 hours is a good rule of thumb. And I've also taken the Pecron F3000 and expanded it considerably with my own hacked battery cable, which I have one of right here. This is their expansion battery cable that I've just cut the end off, put some ring terminals on, and used it to connect to server rack batteries. But I wanted more out of this power station, and I know a lot of people do. You buy a power station like this, and it's usually pretty good for most people with 3,000 watt hours, a good inverter, 1,600 watts of solar, all the right ports and everything else. But if you want more out of it, you have a couple options. One, of course, is getting their expansion batteries and taking it up to 10 kilowatt hours. But as I mentioned, that would take a long time to charge back up if you completely drained the system. But if you need more than that, can you get it? Well, of course you can. You can hack the cable, and with that cable hack, you can add server rack batteries to the Pecron. And I've done that in a few previous videos, but today I'm going to show you something else, and that is I'm going to double the solar input to 3,200 watts of solar. And in fact, my limit with this setup is 3,600 watts of solar, which would get that 13 kilowatt hours because I'm going to add 2 server rack batteries, and I would be able to charge that back up in about 3⅓ hours, so almost 3 hours faster than the unit could charge itself up if you just used the Pecron gear. Now, of course, using just the Pecron gear means you get Pecron support and the warranties and all that good stuff. But if you need more power, there are other options. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Pecron F3000, I'm going to add 2 server rack batteries to it to give me 13 kilowatt hours. I'm going to add a Victron 15035 charge controller, which can take up to 2,000 watts of solar. I'm going to feed it with 1,600 watts, and then I'm going to set up 4 more panels to feed the Pecron with 1,600 watts of solar as well, and that'll give me 3,200 watts of solar for a 13 kilowatt hour system. That can make a big difference, but here's the thing. I'm not limited to what I'm doing today. What I'm doing today is to show you that you can do this, but the reality is the battery manufacturer tells me that I can parallel 16 of their batteries, and if I do that and connect those to the Pecron, that would give me 84 kilowatt hours of reserve. Now, that's on the extreme end of things, and I think if you're going to do that, you should probably do a full do-it-yourself build instead, but it is something you could do, and here's the other thing. I'm not limited to adding just one Victron controller. I could add more, giving me much, much more solar input capability than the Pecron has by itself. I'm going to set up the Pecron over by my server rack batteries. I'm going to connect those batteries to the Pecron via some T-class fuses, and then I'm going to connect my Victron charge controller to the batteries and connect up solar to everything, and then use my little ceramic heater to show you it in action. So let's go do that. All right, folks, we've got the Pecron F3000 LFP. I'm just getting it charged up to 100%. We've got 2 watt cycle 51.2 volt 100 amp hour server rack batteries. That's 5,120 watt hours each. We've got the Victron MPPT 15035 charge controller. We've got a die-hool breaker, and I've also got a couple T-class fuses that aren't really needed in this case. You should have one. I'm using 2 as an extension means more than anything. You should also have a bus bar like the one I've got right there. But for the purposes of today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to run from the Victron negative here over to the first battery post, where we're also going to connect up to the Pecron, and then the positive runs over to this battery post, again connecting to the Pecron. These 2 posts are tied together on the battery. This cable here comes over to this positive on that battery. And then we've got that negative going to that negative on the second battery. So those two batteries are in parallel and they will be connected directly to the Pecron. I've got my solar connected up to the diehole, just running behind everything here because it's, well, I use it for different things. All right, folks, let's turn things on. Batteries are turned on. The Pecron should now fire up. All right, that's running. Crank that up. So we're getting 4 amps, 4.3, 4.2, it's bouncing around, 4 amps. So we're getting some amperage coming from my solar panels, which are connected, not great right here. It's kind of a bad setup, but it'll work for now. So they're connected up to the diehole, which is connected up through MC4s, to the Victron, which is connected up to my batteries. And everything is connected up to this unit here. Let's go ahead and turn the AC on. AC is on. We will go ahead and turn this guy on so that we could see some power coming in here. It should settle down at about 800 watts. All right, folks, we've got 1600 watts of solar plugged into the Pecron. It's currently drawing 600 watts off of the panels. It's putting out 862 watts. However, it's not going to drain because I'm actually gaining 4 amps on those two guys because I'm running off of that guy with 1600 watts. Those are charging the Pecron. And we were getting over 400 watts from there. It's a bit cloudy out. And we were getting 700 watts here. And again, it's a bit cloudy, folks. All right, so there you have it. 13 kilowatt hours. And previously, I've actually done 23 kilowatt hours with the Pecron. So you can absolutely add more than that without adding another expansion battery cable. You've already got one. All you got to do is run it to a bus bar, run your extra batteries to the bus bars, which I didn't do in this video simply because of where it was set up. So as I've said before, this is a what I'm doing channel, like Riley at Ambition Strike says, not do what I do channel. So bear that in mind. And I did it just to show you it in action. But I was able to connect up those batteries to the Pecron, add all that solar with the Victron to the batteries. And what happened was when I ran that heater at over 800 watts a draw between the Pecron and the Victron on a cloudy day, I didn't drain any of the batteries at all while running that heater for over an hour. Now, running that heater for over an hour isn't going to drain things down very much, but it certainly would have been below 100%. And guess what, folks? It wasn't. Stayed at 100% because all that solar kept things running. Had I drained the system down, well, I had 3,200 watts of solar to get it charged back up. And even on this cloudy day, I could produce over 1,000 watts without any issue. In fact, it wasn't drawing that much simply because it didn't need to. So if you're interested in expanding something like the Pecron F3000 with server rack batteries and additional solar, this is how you do it. There are a couple things I thought I would mention, and that is, number one, the Pecron setup, if you use all of Pecron's gear, is a little cheaper. It's about $400 cheaper than what I did today. However, the difference is with the Pecron system, you can't get over 10 kilowatt hours or 1600 watts of solar. And with my system, you're almost infinitely expandable on both battery capacity and solar. So there's a big difference. And I like that as someone who lived off-grid for a while and continues to spend a great deal of time at my off-grid cabin. Expandability is something that, well, you just can't beat. You got to have it. You're going to find that you use more power and you need more solar than you would have otherwise. A couple other things to mention. The Pecron charger on the power station itself will in fact charge those batteries as well. However, again, it is limited. You're only going to get its maximum charging capabilities, which is going to be around 1,500 watts. That's going to take an awful long time to charge up 13 kilowatt hours. So you could add a charger to those batteries as well. Get a 1,000 watt, 48 volt LifePo 4 battery charger, connect it up to the batteries, to the bus bar. and away you go. Now you just increase that. And so there you have it. You can absolutely do this. You can get way more solar this way. You can get way more runtime. It is a little more expensive in the short term because it is going to cost you about $400 more to do what I did today. But since it's infinitely upgradable, you could add a third server rack battery or a fourth server rack battery, another charger, and away you go. You've got massive capacity. And the beauty of this system is that if you wanted to, you could also add another inverter so that you could keep things running and remove the Pecron from the equation and take it with you if you had to go somewhere. So that's kind of a handy tool as well. I hope that helped somebody out. And if it did, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button over there. It really helps the channel out. I appreciate it a great deal. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to drop another video right over here for you to check out. And thanks to all my members. Thank you so much for your support. You all have a great day. The old Jarhead out.